The mental mastery I lie in shorts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Short. I want to talk a little bit about integrity. We live in a very fast-paced world. We live in a time where everything is changing drastically and rapidly. There are many benefits to the new world, but there is in my opinion, a lack of connection to almost everything. AI takes care of everything. It's changing our thoughts. It's changing everything. And it's happening so gradually that we could potentially lose ourselves in the process. And what I mean by that is how we've been gaslit throughout the majority of history to believe certain things. And then when you start waking up to it and catching on to things and seeing realizations and understanding that all history that we've ever been taught was a lie and the intention was programming, you see a different variation of what could be, as in what your life could be or should be. This thing where we fight over left and right, red and blue, and up and down. This thing that has us arguing with each other for no reason, or so it appears. To have us so preoccupied with earning and taxation and protecting our money, it takes away our ability to be human. So as the journey goes forward, and how I'm experiencing this journey, I find myself seeing things more clearly. And sometimes I'm thrown back into a realm that lacks integrity. And I remember that realm well. I remember being third dimensional. I remember being all of the things that I was supposed to be and chasing all of the goals that I was supposed to chase. And I remember stepping on people that didn't deserve to be stepped on because I needed to get to where I thought I was going. Whether that was physical, mental, emotional. There wasn't really much physical stepping on people. Maybe. But emotionally, mentally, financially, every single CEO is an absolute cutthroat and he got there by screwing somebody over. And we teach this as what? As Americana? We teach this as the way to be. When you start seeing it for what it is, you start realizing that the importance of money is more about freedom, and the importance of earning money through integrity far supersedes earning copious amounts of dollars for absolutely nothing. But the illusion still exists. Baseball players are signing absolutely ludicrous contracts. And this isn't about a baseball player. This is about a system that's intentional. We have a government in Canada, for example, that is raising prices everywhere. So inflation is the invisible taxation. It's intentional. Prices are going up all across the board. Minimum wage is raising all across the board. So companies are outsourcing. Welcome China. Welcome the new world order that we weren't ever allowed to talk about because that's just crazy. And now Carney's talking about it openly and publicly. That hasn't happened since the original George Bush, not George W. So integrity is being further and further eroded from society. And it's trickling down into absolutely everything. So when you have the opportunity and the ability to live your life with as much integrity as possible, especially as a man, you are giving your word. You are creating a bond with the ether, not with another individual. You are speaking to yourself, because if I break my word to you, yeah, I've pissed you off, but I have to live with me for the rest of my life. And so when we see the world being as disjointed and disconnected as it possibly can be, we often internalize that. We often place that back in on ourselves to do that. And we think it's normal because they're doing it. So what we're doing is witnessing something take place and then creating it in ourselves, which is intentional on their part. And here's the kick. Me saying on their part is almost like me blaming somebody else. But I am them. And I am the one who created this universe. And some people will say, well, that's blasphemy, sir. Well, you can look at it this way too. I created this universe with the help of God. Sure, why not? If God has to be here. And truthfully, I don't like the religious God. I think that he's a form of control in any religion you want to look at. They will fear you into control. So God, as delivered, is just as fake as history or space or anything as delivered. It's just as fake as every single one of your beliefs. Now, that sounds personal, but every single one of your beliefs is a limiting belief unless you have the ability to challenge it. This is how you free yourself. That old saying, the truth will set you free. That doesn't mean if somebody speaks the truth to you, you'll understand and you'll be free or what have you, or you'll be free of your guilty conscience if you speak the truth. The truth will set you free is a comprehension. Once you understand, and I don't personally fully understand the quote unquote truth because I also believe truth is fluid. However, once you start to understand the truth, what's really happening is you're eradicating the lie. So finance, history, geography, it all goes out the window. And you understand that this was all put in place to keep you in position. Now, nefariously, we could be like the Matrix, human batteries, etc., etc. But this episode is about integrity. And in this realm and in this world, anything is possible. There's another saying that I used to love. Stand for something or fall for everything. I don't care for that sentence anymore. I don't stand for any one thing except total openness. I stand for the ability to completely challenge everything you know about everything. Which then leads people to say, well, you can fall for everything. Not if you have discernment and integrity. My ability to discern comes from the knowledge that I'm willing to take in and from the conversations that I'm willing to have and from me being able to deconstruct myself. This world is powerful, and we are currently living in a manifestation of it. We have manifested everything. So I say this to you, specifically you, men. If you find yourself in a position to give your word and you may back down, do not give your word. Do not make a statement that would later have you having to renege to the best of your ability. Do not work for people who break their word. Do not associate with people. Do not date people. Do not trust anyone who has broken their word to you more than 3 times. I understand once or twice, sometimes some things happen. But once it becomes a pattern, you know this person is not worth your time. This company is not worth your time. This experience already served you. You learned what you needed to learn and move forward. Integrity is the biggest and most prolific piece of this experience. You must offer it to everyone. And again, I say this to men. Women, you have your own version of integrity, and I wouldn't even begin to speak for you because we are on different wavelengths. But I do have episodes for you guys. I do have things that we can suggest and how we can all blend together. This message of integrity is for the men who need to hear it. This message of integrity is for the men who are contemplating why their life may or may not be falling apart or may or may not be super excelling. Always give your word when you can and always keep your word. Don't give your word when you cannot. Don't utilize that statement of certainty when you yourself are uncertain. This will change the way you function in this realm. And to those of you working for companies that are very, very unintegral, very, very aloof, very nonchalant, those who do not care, your business model will fail. It is a matter of time before your inability to keep your word catches up to you fiscally. I like to keep these shorts to under 10 minutes, and somehow I've run over the 10 minutes. But I'm going to say it again. This world has tricked you into being aloof. This is your all call to rein it back in. Men, become dominant, become masculine. Do not listen to the ethos that is trying to feminize all men and masculinize all women. This reversal, this absurd media manipulation, this play, this push, this energetic swap is intentional, and it's designed to mess with you. Take your power back. Become sovereign.
Thanks for listening to the Mental Mastery Alliance, Shorts.